Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching Stargirl Season 2, Episode 10, Summer School, Chapter 10. Everything is going to hell and I am stressed. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and let's go. He's dealing with the fallout of this time all over again in the present as well, isn't he?
I was wrong to bring you with us.
You bloody well were.
Family isn't born. It's chosen. You taught me that.
Where was this energy
My 16th
last
birthday?
episode?
You're my brother.
You should start treating him that way and stop treating him like your driver.
And I know most of the time that I don't want this to destroy our family.
Okay, this is an emotional step. Being vulnerable, I appreciate it.
You did.
This is Eclipso, okay? He wants to divide us.
No. For once, it's not on Eclipso. It's
Courtney, it is on Eclipso, but it's also your valid feelings about the situation. Mr. Shade? This kitchen cannot take a break.
It's not my best interest. I'll tell you how to defeat Eclipse.
Yes, please.
Eclipso's not enough.
No, humbly offering my services, my ass. This guy's trying to manipulate us just the way he did Star Maker, right?
Look, I get why Pat is this furious with him, but like, he's not asking us to kill anyone. Okay, it's not gonna be this simple.
Take those off, please.
I need to keep them on. They help me see what's real.
Oh, Beth. You should just say it's a fashion trend or something. Don't be that honest with them, because they're gonna think you're having a psychic break.
You guys didn't feel like talking about the divorce. Well, I'm not ready to talk about this.
It's a little different, Beth, but okay.
And right now, they need me.
I would be mildly concerned you got into some kind of criminal enterprise with her saying like, oh, you don't need to worry about this, safer if you don't know and whatnot, but...
I don't know if Courtney or Mike will ever trust us again.
Well, I mean, we'll just have to earn their trust back.
Exactly.
Eclipso is taking his revenge on the JSA out on us.
Mm-hmm. Even though they're kids.
What if he comes back here? And you and Dad leave us alone with the Shade.
Beth here with her beautiful goggles.
I'm here to protect you.
Michael. She is the only person that has successfully got seen through the Shade's trickery. Not the Shade, I apologise, Mr. Shade. Eclipse's trickery by herself. Rick's still in prison and I hate it. Yolanda just hating herself and isolating herself. This is gonna be a fun trip.
How could you think murder was okay?
I didn't.
He didn't.
I don't. There was a vote.
Do you understand how much damage you've done by keeping the truth from us? Yolanda would have known that she wasn't the first member of the JSA to take a life and regret it.
It's
But
true.
anyway, y'all just didn't want the way you saw the JSA to change.
Yeah.
I didn't want the way you saw me to change.
It's a human reason, but it's still gonna have to earn that trust back. Rick. Can we help him? Oh, my Grundy's giving him food! Grundy even figured out which cell his friend was in. Grundy, that's dangerous. Friend. I hate this so much because there's not much we can do for him right now. I mean, that was just on a prison floor, but okay.
Did Dr. Midnight help do it?
I made a vow never to take a life.
Dr. McNider? Hello?
Oh. Michael, what are you doing?
Don't shut me out.
He's worried you're gonna shut him out.
There was another fire earlier this week. A green one. Burned down an abandoned orphanage.
Why would Jenny do that?
Did something happen to her brother? Because she was searching for him.
But she's in Civic City.
Good old comic book
It's a big
names.
city.
I know he tried to kill you the night the JSA died.
Kill me? No, Beth. He saved me.
Okay, tell me the truth. Keep going.
He may have been trying to pull me to safety, but I was lost in his shadows.
Oh.
Dragged into the Shadowlands.
Have you seen a girl there?
But it opened a doorway to the dark power.
Fascinating. I love it.
Who's Emily?
My dear sister, I'm so sorry.
Ooh.
I didn't help you. Tried not to abuse it.
We're learning a lot about the Shade this episode and I love it. But I'm also stressed about what Eclipsa is up to right now. It's not quite as magical as it would have been back in the day before she knew the whole truth.
Thought robots would be a lot more like Legos. I guess not.
You shouldn't be doing this without Pat here to teach you. At least maybe there's hope her brother's alive. I was thinking the worst.
I'll give you some time to collect your brother's things.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay, where is her brother? Did something happen to him?
When I couldn't, I got frustrated, angry,
And the lantern responded.
sad.
It's okay, all right? Just try and be calm.
That's what we're just saying.
Not
Try and be
alone
calm.
in this.
That is a deep breath. You have people with you.
He vanished last week.
Right before she found
Out
him?
there, he's my family. You do anything to protect your family.
Ooh.
You just do.
Maybe murder shouldn't be on that list, but yes. Not telling you is a version of trying to protect you, even if it's a misguided one. I'm not so sure he actually disappeared. I feel like they definitely took him somewhere to experiment on him. It's very creepy. Like, he's still in the building.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Of course.
Do they know he has something different about him because of his Green Lantern relation and they're experimenting or something?
I think it's a gumdrop.
So he asked for candy and it took that a bit literal. Oh god, the house is made of gingerbread.
Thunderbolt.
Will this help Yolanda and Rick?
I mean,
Imprisoning Eclipso will at least be a start.
exactly. It's not going to completely fix all the problems, but it's going to be a step.
I'm sorry I left.
You had to find your brother.
You're here now.
Okay, give it a shot.
It's not going to work, is it? I'm stressed. I want it to work, but surely that's too simple if it does. Is it going to go wrong like the fake diamond thing and give someone else shade powers even though it's not the ritual, or... Oh my god, is it working?
Oh no.
Oh lord, it's a trap. It's all a trap. The shade's been lying.
The Shade lied. Restoring the diamond reconnects our world to the Shadowlands.
Indeed it does.
Oh, now he's healed, of course.
Access my powers again. So sorry to deceive you.
No, you're not. Fuck
Bring
off.
the diamond back together. It will summon him.
Jesus Christ. We had to trust the shade that we had nothing else to go off. And it seemed reasonable.
To the shadows. With you.
Oh lord. She's gonna go to where Cindy and Dr. McNider are. Shit! Well, I feel like Cindy and Dr. McNider might get a trip home. Parents' worst nightmare. He could have jumped in after her, but he couldn't have done. She doesn't have the staff. Well, that was a wonderful ending. Stargirl episodes always fly by. I loved Beth being able to get in contact with Dr. Monida again, and it seems as though because she was closer to the shade, that's what strengthened the signal, or it was her excellent science worm. I had typing skills there. Now, at the beginning of the episode, I was like, I'm just going to go with it and trust the shade. Obviously, all season, it's been, can we trust him, can we not trust him? But I was like, I believe that he wants to stop Eclipso. But of course, it was truly a way to save himself, but it put the others in more danger. And to be honest, I feel like if he'd just been honest with them, they might have done it in a way that, like, knowing that would summon him, that would have been a thing to have in their arsenal for down the line, for, like, if they develop a trap for him or some way they can defeat him. And, like, if the shade could have held on long enough, we could have done a 2 birds with 1 stone. But no, of course, he's a shade. Now, next time we see him, I feel like if he turns up and he's offering to help again, or he'll be coming up with his own plan, hopefully, to deal with Eclipso, because that does seem to be something that he genuinely wants to do. The only danger is if he's scared now, if he's just going to scurry off into some shadow somewhere and not want to do anything. But if that is what he wants to do, I feel like Barbara needs to try and phone him again on that number and to be like, you failed Emily, do not fail us now. You know, like, use the information she got from him in this episode to really needle at him and to be like, you fucker got my daughter sent to the Shades, come back here right now and help us find a way to get there. You sent Dr. Menida there will be a way to save her. That's, I guess, what the next episode's going to be about. That is stressful. My heart is just breaking still for Rick, just being in prison, knowing that, like, his uncle is going to be gloating about this, and, like, he had a chance at a future that was, you know, he had a chance of escaping this town and its perceptions of him, and it feels like that's all been snatched away from him. I'm still praying there's going to be some way he gets out of it with no charges or with, you know, like nothing on his record, but I just want to give him a hug. And I love that Solomon Grundy was like, have apples. My friend bought me apples when I needed apples. My friend in danger, I have apples. I was kind of concerned Grundy was going to try and, like, break him out of prison, because obviously, while that would be good because he would no longer physically be in prison, running away from prison is never a good thing, and that is definitely illegal. I'm very worried about Yolanda because we haven't seen her in a really long time, and we know that it's not even just that she's isolated from her friends. She quit her job. She's totally just isolated now in a household where she's still being treated like she's worthless. Or even if her mum is going to listen to the priest and be nice to her now, they're still going to be like, you must be perfect, you must, like, it's very unhealthy regardless. Beth is I still think Beth could have, I know she doesn't, like, want to lie to her parents, but I still feel like she could have just tried to, like, act like it was some new Gen Z fashion trend, or just a Beth fashion trend, you know, rather than being like, oh, to keep me safe, because her parents are definitely going to think she's got involved in something she shouldn't be in. They wouldn't be wrong, but they're going to think it's a little bit more, actually no, it's quite sinister regardless. But I am proud of Beth for kind of being honest with her parents about how she feels about their divorce, and kind of not just doing whatever they want, because I feel like earlier Beth that we met would have been like, oh my god, my parents want to, like, they're here. She kind of would have dropped everything to try and be with them, but instead she's like, no, I made friends, they need me, I'm going. And that is something that you can be proud of her, but I also think that she's let a lot of other things out, said a lot of things that her parents will not understand, and that will be very stressful. I can totally understand why Courtney and Mike would be struggling with this truth, because not only it's their parents lied to them, their father was an accomplice to a murder, and I find it interesting that clearly when he told Courtney, he just was like, we killed Bruce Gordon. He wasn't like, oh, well, there was a, like, he only now has told the full scale of the story, because the full scale of the story puts him in a much better light. And, like, I know he said I didn't do anything to stop them, but literally, other than running into the house trying to beat them to it, screaming, the JSA want to kill you, which, you know, given that Bruce Gordon was currently possessed by Eclipso, just would have been a suicide mission, there wasn't really any way he could have stopped them. He could have kept arguing it, I suppose, but he'd argued his point. The two of them were very fixed on it, and it was only really Starman that was the waverer, and he, if anything, was just shocked that this man who was his brother had already wavered so much, that I don't really think there was much he could have done to stop it. And, you know, I completely agree that it was something they should never have done. It was crossing a line that was too far. They should have kept trying to figure out a way to stop Eclipso. But like we said in the last episode, there is a real grey area there, and, you know, if that was the only way to stop Eclipso, what they really, to make it worth it, even though taking a life is never worth it, would have been to drop that diamond in cement, throw it in the ocean, you know, just do something to make it so that we could never ever find the diamond again, rather than just put it in a storage room somewhere. So I get why Courtney's struggling with that. And I'm glad Pat was kind of honest with her about all the different reasons why he didn't tell her, because it was more than, it's he didn't want to ruin her perception of the JSA, it's that he didn't want her to look at him differently. I just had some screaming, oh dear. And it also, I don't think, you know, he didn't think they would want to go and kill Cindy, but I feel like they would have felt maybe there's a pressure that they should, the original JSA did, and, you know, that didn't even cross their minds, and I don't think he ever wanted it to. But it is so true that for Yolanda, the moment she probably still would have left, but for her, I feel like if anything, she needs that time away from it all to cope with her own healing, which is what I hope she's doing, and I don't feel like she will be. So yeah, Courtney's now in the Shadow Realm. That is stressful, but it also, like, you know, we need to get Dr. Menida back. Cindy's rocking around down there now. I don't know how I feel about Cindy in general. She didn't deserve to die, neither did Isaac. Artemis is still... I mean, is Artemis in hiding right now, or is she just living her life, acting like everything's fine and Calypso's not bothered about the girl that ran off? You know, none of those kids deserve to die. Cindy was always someone that I felt like there was a chance we could try and get through to, or whatever, that she could try and do better than her parents. Maybe we'll see that. I feel like potentially she will work with us to stop Eclipso because he's made it clear that he used her and that now he discarded her, so we will have to see. It's all so stressful. Everything about this show is stressful. Then Jenny and her brother, he's obviously still at the Helix place and they're obviously doing some kind of nefarious experiments. But I'm sorry, if I walked into any kind of place that said it was a rehabilitation for young people and all the nurses were dressed like some cartoonish, like 50s style nurse outfits, I would be very, very concerned. And the fact that they think he just disappeared and they've clearly not done anything about it, we are obviously going to be looking into that at some point, but there's also so much else going on that I don't know how much time we can spend looking into that. It's just very stressful. The ending with Courtney, I didn't expect Courtney to get sucked into the Shadow Realm. I'm stressed. That was episode 10, so we've got 3 episodes left. Oh, so much to do. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you for watching.